Welcome back to the Human Factors Technology Podcast. My name is Jared Degnan, and I am stranded in Seattle, Washington. Like many of you, I have been impacted by this massive global IT outage. And you might think to yourself, well, why is he smiling? Why is he happy? Number one, it's because of coffee. It's a great thing. Number two, I've been kind of looking into this whole CrowdStrike Microsoft thing. And I think I found something really interesting that I wanted to share with you. So just to kind of set the stage here, for those of you who may not currently be aware, what occurred was on Saturday, CrowdStrike pushed a content update for its Falcon threat deterrent systems software for its Windows host. So this is a piece of software that protects from bad actors, essentially. It's highly advanced. Otherwise, if it wasn't for this global IT outage, you would think that this is a phenomenal platform because it's highly advanced. However, what occurred was when they pushed this content update, somehow they missed something and it crashed a lot of systems. Now, they say that it didn't crash all the systems. In fact, it only crashed a small percentage of systems. But proving the black swan effect true, the fact of the matter is that when these systems went down, it impacted a lot of people. In fact, I flew out to Seattle for the Mount Rainier half marathon on Sunday afternoon, I think. No, I'm sorry, it was Friday. Sorry, because it was yesterday, it was Sunday. So I flew out on Friday morning, a couple hours after the whole thing happened. We were delayed by about maybe 2 hours, and that sucked. However, these cascading effects have occurred. So the question is, what does any of this have to do with human factors? And what can we do to prevent something like this in the future? It all comes down to testing and the mechanisms around testing. So I am hypothesizing that there was a testing mechanism within these Falcon content updates. And from what I have understood and read, there are a lot of these updates that go out, dozens per week, because as bad actors evolve, security software has to evolve with it. So this was a regular update where you push the update, it makes the system smarter, and it protects from bad actors. What happened is, in this case, testing was missed. And my guess is that why was testing missed? It was because testing is a pain in the butt. Testing slows things down. Testing requires additional work. Testing is I would call it a non-value add task, but when you are a developer who's responsible for protecting systems and you have a fairly reasonable confidence level that this update is just like any other update, and the 1,000 updates that you've pushed previously, nothing happened. So why should you test this one? Suddenly you start to see that the experience is everything in this case. If the experience was easier, maybe they would have tested this update. If the workflow was easier, maybe they would have tested this update. Maybe this whole thing wouldn't have happened. But it's important for us to recognize that when steps get skipped, whether they are in a B2C setting, a business to consumer setting, or a business to business setting like this update was, that experience is everything. Whether it's capital E experience or small e experience. And when I say small e experience, that's the employee experience. This is where the employee has to follow a set of rules, a set of tasks, and the quality of their result is essentially directly proportional to what their experience is. If the experience is good, they're going to follow every single step, every single time. If the experience is poor, steps are going to get skipped. Things are going to get missed, and then suddenly the dominoes are going to fall. So, that being said, what happens when things like this occur? What happens when human factors fail in an internal process. Well, that requires another set of human factors, humans themselves, customer experience representatives, to pick up the slack. And I really have to tip my hat to all of the flight attendants that are out there trying to make the best of this experience for all of their guests. And I have to say, if you are taking a flight in the next week to 2 weeks, buy your flight attendants a bag of Skittles or a bag of M&Ms or something, because these folks are doing the best they can to make up for a very lousy situation. So, once again, to recap, what occurred was a CrowdStrike update was supposed to be pushed. It was supposed to be tested. It was not tested, and therefore it led to a global IT outage that has impacted, probably at this point in time, millions of passengers. What's important about this? We have to think about the human factors in all of our experiences. What about workflows? What about automation? What about systems testing? All of these things have to be taken into account if we want the human to follow these steps. So that being said, I hope you all stay safe. I hope you all stay patient. Please love your travel neighbor, because gosh knows none of us are where we want to be right now. I am in a hotel in Seattle for the next 2 days, and I'm recording a podcast on my iPad, even though I pride myself on having a very high quality production environment. But I thought it was so important to touch on this, because when it comes down to it, these small tasks, this is everything. If we pay attention to the human experience, these small tasks, it's going to have a cascading effect. So next time you think that, oh, something is too small, it's just a system, or it's just a task. Remember, a task in the system is only as good as that human experience. So stay safe, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I hope you get home safe. And I will see you next time on the Human Factors Technology Podcast.